All right, up in Jets camp, anybody have any questions for Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, CJ Mosley, maybe Stala, whoever we find? You, yes, sir. So, the Sphinx in Egypt, the head conspiracy of the Sphinx in Egypt. Okay, anybody else have a question? Did he do ayahuasca in Egypt? Okay, anybody have a football question? Okay, Garrett Wilson, sure. Devontae Adams, okay, we'll get to that. Nobody wants to know where Hassan Reddick is? I do. Vibes are high. Jets camp, one Jets drive. Let's go. The moment I've been waiting for. He likes to keep me waiting for 6 or 7 hours. It's the GOAT, number 8 out there. Aaron Rodgers, how are you?
Hi, Kay. Great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hey, we had Red Zone Day out there.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Can we get a close-up of that face? No. I show up. I'm looking for drama. I'm looking for, I have to be the Dr. Phil to you and Garrett Wilson and all this, using the headlines are saying words like fuming Aaron Rodgers. You're out there with whoopee cushions and rubber chickens doing pranks and doing the Ric Flair walk. What gives?
You saw the Ric Flair walk? Mm-hmm. Yes. Nobody even knows what that is. It's a lot of bullshit. You know that. Come on. There's always stories to be made up. Listen, I also, and I talked to G about this. There's appearance and there's the reality. What it appears to be can be taken, you can run with it. The reality was, you can't really tell because I watched the video. The second conversation, we're kind of laughing at each other. I'm teasing him. He's kind of like the little brother's getting teased, and then he kind of snaps back, and then I tease him back. So it's a whole lot of nothing in the end. There are good conversations that we have when the fans or the media is not zooming in on us, but he's a passionate guy. I'm a passionate guy, but a lot of that stuff is literally not what the reality is. The appearance doesn't even really match what was said out there, I think, to a lot of extent, because if you look at our faces, you can kind of see in the second video, I'm laughing at him. I
said this to Garrett, to G as you call him. I said, I feel like you guys are feeding into it. I feel like you guys know that the media is watching.
That's
and
not
you're just having fun.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of a hothead sometimes. I gotta cool him down a little
You're
bit.
not. Everyone thinks you're a hothead. Fuming is the word used, Aaron.
Yeah. I might have yelled at Tipman about a high snap.
What's going on there? How do you make a bad snap a good snap?
Well, I have a limited amount of athletic ability left, so I still have a little bit of a vertical. So he hasn't snapped it on my head yet, but I kind of like it, from eyes down to belly button, somewhere in there somewhere.
Tyler Conklin calls you the Oppenheimer.
I heard that.
Of football. I have to ask you, since you have so many opinions on so many historical things, is that a good thing?
No, I told him I don't think it was a good thing. Because isn't one of the famous Oppenheimer quotes something about "I'm now the destroyer of worlds"?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
When I think Aaron Rodgers, I think I am now the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You don't like it. I heard you said that you have 2 good years left. Why put a number out there? Why put that out there?
I don't think that's what I said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're lying. It's a conspiracy theory.
I might have said a couple, but
AI?
A couple seems to be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
A few is 3 or 4. Many is 4 plus.
What's your day like? You leave here. What are the Aaron Rodgers-y things that you do?
Okay, you're asking good questions.
Yeah, I want to know all of the Aaron Rodgers-y holistic.
Well, I got a whole. Yeah, wake up early.
What time?
With a 6 on the clock. That's early.
Okay.
Okay, we start at 8, so wake up with at least a 6 on the clock, and I make my little coffee drink. I set out my waters for the day. Shout out Mountain Valley. Are they a sponsor of the
I don't
Up and
know.
Adams?
Yes, they are. They certainly are.
Can we get a couple cases a month sent to?
God, what is it like to be Aaron Rodgers? Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's your address?
I'm not telling you. Can you please stay on track? I want to know your thing.
So
what's your coffee drink? You have to be specific here. The world wants to know.
No, there's a lot of different. There's some mushroom powder in there.
Over under on him saying mushroom is 6.
Not psilocybin mushroom.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
2 different types.
Okay.
There's the blast off, and then there's the healthy ones. The other ones are healthy too, mentally. Then I get all my stuff, get my water set, and then have a little breakfast and go through the entire day. Then I come back, have my dinner, and then I might get 1 or 2 episodes of Lost in. I'm going back and watching Lost.
Oh my God!
Right now.
Speaking my language, where
Which
are
is
you in it? Not Penny's Boat,
Season
or we?
3. We're almost.
Okay, I
Season
mean
3.
Sawyer,
And I
Dharma,
just,
Initiative.
Yeah, we're all there. We're there.
Aaron, all you have to do is say that you go home and take the other kind of mushrooms and go to sleep, because that's what that must be like. You sitting there looking at.
You don't sleep when you're on the other type of mushrooms.
Okay, I mean, clearly you're being very open. Do you want to talk about Egypt?
Yeah, sure.
What were you doing there?
I was seeing a lot of the temples, obviously pyramids, Sphinx. That was like at the end of the trip, but the first part of the trip. There's temples all over that country, so we were on like a houseboat kind of thing on the Nile. So
just like Moses wanted it.
Yeah, went down to Aswan and everywhere in between, and flew up to Cairo and did the pyramids and the Sphinx and did camel out in the desert, and it was a great trip. Hot though, very hot.
Great, hotter than this.
Oh yeah.
Did you throw any routes out there? Did you warm up the arm? No.
No, I didn't. I didn't find a lot of footballs out there in Egypt.
Did you take a selfie with the Sphinx?
Well, I got a picture, not a selfie.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
I should post that probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely should. There's a big conspiracy, since you know that the Sphinx, the head of the Sphinx is so small that it actually used to be a lion's head. It's like all over social media. Where do you come out on that?
The age of it as well. The weathering that's on it. I happen to fall.
Constellations, Leo.
Yeah, I'm in the Graham Hancock side of that debate for sure.
What does that mean?
Well, he believes that the age of the Sphinx is much older than they tell us. So I'm definitely in the Mr. West and Graham Hancock theories about that. Also, when you go over there, it gives you some interesting opinions about how those things were actually made, where the rocks came from, the size of the rocks, the cuts in the rocks. Something you should go see in person.
Okay, so you did
during
that.
minicamp.
Yes.
Sorry, OTAs.
Now you're back. Do you know when your week 1 game is? Let's just be clear, so you have it on your calendar, so you don't plan a trip to Machu Picchu that weekend.
That's a good one. That'd be fun. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I hiked it. It's gorgeous, and I know you did.
It's beautiful.
Okay, talk. Week 1.
Yeah.
I had Chavarius Ward. I had Diamador Lenore. Both come on my show, and they really want.
Good job with those names. That was 2 tough names.
Thank
Guys
you.
that might have been on the Key and Peele old skit.
It's
actually.
the Niners. You've got history. The Niners matter to you. You grew up liking the Niners. What is that?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, though, Kay. That was like 19 years ago.
I want to know what you think of that matchup and them saying they're going to catch one off of you, old timer.
A lot of people have said that over the years, but not many have actually done that.
Okay.
But no, those guys are both really good players. I think it's a good test for us to see a Super Bowl finalist. What do you call them? What's the nice way of saying they lost the Super Bowl?
I don't
Finalist?
know. I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask.
They were in the Super Bowl.
Finalists.
They were in the
sure.
Super Bowl. To see them at full strength. They're obviously have a ton of all pros and Pro Bowlers on the team. Very well coached. So it'd be a real good matchup for us. Monday night again, on grass. It'll be fun.
Ward wants you to sign the ball if he gets a pick off you. Would you oblige?
No.
Just a quick no. Absolutely not. Love that.
Well, somebody. We're gonna have to edit this out for sound, but.
Well, you are the Jets, so it's kind of
Eccles
fitting.
said he caught a pick off of Tom and brought the ball to him after the game to sign. I don't know. That'd be a little weird. You know what? I'd probably do it. If I was like a 5th or 6th year player, I'd probably say, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know, but now, in my old age and maturity, maybe I'd sign it for him.
You do whatever you want to do. When you say maturity, give yourself some credit.
That's a
What
real
is something?
loose term, yeah.
Well, what has evolved about you in the past couple seasons, or even over this 19-year stretch? What would you give yourself credit for?
Well, I'm less stressed out, as you can probably imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a little less reactive, a little less triggered by certain things. But a lot of that's lifestyle and habit stuff, and just meditating a little more and turning off the TV a little more. Although in camp you got to have some sort of mindless something. Lost is not exactly the most mindless
it's the most
TV.
frustrating
There's a lot of
show.
storylines to keep.
What's in the hatch? You know.
But that was great. Yeah.
There's no answers. Jacob, most frustrating series of all time.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely. hands down the most frustrating series of all time. All for nothing. Anyway.
You're a real stressed out person. You know, you're type A, you're wound kind of type. and I was for a little bit as well. But I've enjoyed meditating more, reading more, relaxing more. You know, maybe you should do some of that
Taking
stuff.
trips to Egypt, skirting responsibility more.
What
I should do that. I'm
responsibility?
kidding. Totally kidding. You're walking back this Devontae Adams stuff that I started drumming up. Are you trying to make me
it's
look
just
stupid?
silly. No, it's just a silly
What
question.
do
Silly
you mean? There's no
Of course,
chance?
I love Devontae. I'd love to play with Devontae again. It might be in the in the 2028 Olympics if they let some of the old guys go out and play. But we'll see. I mean, I want him to have great success, and I love him. We keep in contact. Mostly we talk about golf because he's a fanatic about golf. I think the only person who's as passionate about golf as he is Sauce. And Sauce has a great swing. I'd love to see Sauce in Tahoe in a couple of years if he ever felt comfortable enough. Devontae actually had a nice year in Tahoe, but listen, Devontae's over there. If things in some alternate universe came to fruition, whatever. I love Devontae, and any chance to play with him if we're playing ping pong, golf, if I'm, smoking them at Boo Ray or some other game, just love spending time with Tay.
Garrett is watching his tape a lot. You're lining him up in the slot a lot. Hackett had a lot of success with Devontae in the slot with you. What are the expectations for this young Garrett Wilson, who I think you want to get the best out of, and he had 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons without you, pretty much.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. I didn't throw him a pass. Probably should have. Thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
No,
Always.
I love G. I just want him to be on the details. I think if he can figure out the little details in the offense that really matter the most, then I think he can have as good a season as he wants. He has all the other talents and skills and ability and instincts and feel. It's just this offense is about spacing and timing and being at the right spot on time, being open on time, in rhythm. And if we can get that part down, then all the other stuff he brings to the offense is just icing on the cake.
Love that. I have a couple rapid fires for you,
Please,
okay?
Yeah.
Can Up and Adams show in Green Bay stay at your house?
Yes.
Okay, great. Are you waiting to sell your house in Green Bay to buy your house in Cairo?
Yes.
When is the last time you talked to Hassan Reddick?
It's been a little while.
How long?
It's been a while.
Aaron?
I think I texted him when he got
Oh, boy.
when we got traded. So there were a couple other back and forths maybe, but it's been a little bit. But I can't wait to see him.
Okay. What happened to the number hashtag sign with your tweets? What happened to that?
I don't tweet anymore. I don't think.
Best New York City meal?
Late night pizza.
Last time you flew commercial.
It's been a while.
Last time you talked to Robert Kennedy. Kidding. Last time you talked to Joe Namath.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Or maybe you should stop.
For
maybe
Joe.
We should stop hanging out with Jacob and the Dharma Initiative and Sawyer and company and call some of these OGs.
You're right. Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome.
Great
Anything
to
else
see
you
you.
want to talk about? They're pulling the
They're
the old
in your
thing.
ear? Yeah.
No, I don't have an earpiece.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel, a type A.
Let's talk about you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go on.
In your stress level,
Oh, God.
would you say it originates from a specific spot? Like your assistant or the person does your hair or the person does your toes?
Like they
or
don't get foot
your
Twitter on me.
stylist? Who gives you the most stress
Who
in your
gives me
life?
the most?
Yeah.
This guy, Matthew Hamilton, right here.
Okay.
This gentleman, yeah.
So you got to get him out.
Oh, we have to cut people out.
Oh, that's the guy you want to fire.
Is that yeah? That's what I was telling you about, Aaron. That's the key? Close the circle.
No, I want. No,
Go ahead. More about me.
Here's a real question.
I'm very uncomfortable.
What habits have you changed in the last couple of years of your life that makes you more happy?
I go to Pilates every morning.
You stop working for the man. For one. Cheers.
When I'm doing my own thing, which
Pilates,
is amazing. It is. Want to know why?
Reformer or not the reformer?
Reformer.
Okay. All right.
But want to know why? Because if I only like that because if I think about anything else, I'll fall off. So it's meditative to me. Like
Yeah,
legit.
so you're present.
I'm just present. And
But you're not meditating yet. You're not doing any mind enhancing.
I feel like my hour-long show is that. Does that sound crazy? Like
Yep.
when you're in a game, aren't you so present that it's so great you're not thinking about anything else? That's what being live on air for an hour is. If you were me in this job, what question would you ask you?
You asked all the good ones.
No, I didn't.
You don't need any help.
I didn't do a very good job today. I'm not happy with myself. Okay, I guess we'll be back right here. I'm Joe. The man.
Mountain Valley.
Okay, I'm here with a 5-time Pro Bowler. I'm here with a guy who wants to win a Super Bowl on this 2024 Jets team. I'm here with the captain of the defense. How does that feel, CJ Mosley?
Feels great. Another year at it, another chance, to prove that we're worthy. So, just looking forward to what's to come.
Watching you out there, I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, you've got some freedom out there. I feel like you have more of a leadership responsibility and you're just letting it fly. Are you, does Saleh sort of give you the rein to switch things up and do what you want out there right now?
In a quick answer, yes. We on year 5 of this defense. Year 4, 3 and 4 of pretty much all of our defense being together. So, we kind of understands the basic of our defense. And so now we're just trying to find every next step, every little inch, cheating one little gap to try to make us better to win that play. So I think that's where we're at now. My biggest goal that the coaches gave me this year is just be more demonstrative and calling out what I see, and I think the coaches have given me a lot of confidence to do that. So I'm on my Ray Lewis / Luke Kuechly style of linebacker play. So anything that I see, I'm calling out to the defense to try to get us that edge.
So are you sort of given? How much freedom do you have to change things out there?
I would probably say total freedom. So as long as I'm confident and I trust my teammates. I trust the D-line is going to get the checks. I trust Quincy and other linebackers and Sherwood are going to get the checks across the board, and the DB is going to be able to react off our motions and checks. So
and, that trust is well earned. By the way, 3 years under Saleh, and you have the peak consistency. You're crushing it, 150 plus tackles in each season. So that green dot, you earned that.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're excited, and you're smiling. You know who else was smiling today? Your quarterback. I feel like I came here and I was hearing doom, and he's so sad and he's fuming. All these headlines. He was out there being a jokester today. What's that all about?
I'm not sure. I can't control the narrative outside of our building. That'll always change and usually never be accurate. But he's came back healthy. OTAs, he was here working. He showed up to camp ready to roll, and we've been having really good camp. I think he was smiling more because we had a red zone day, so they got a few more touchdowns than usual. So the first 2 days have passed, we kind of locked them up. So I think they were just letting off a little stress on the offensive side.
Was he pissing off? I saw him score a couple touchdowns. Did he piss off the defense today a little bit?
I think overall, anytime the offense scores on us, especially the red zone, we hold a lot of pride on keeping the offense out of the end zone, especially running the ball. So just got to go get back in the film room, see how we can play better, because what better quarterback to go up against than Aaron.
I think he wants it so bad, and it's understandable.
Oh, yeah.
He wants it, and it's nice to have somebody who's holding everybody accountable. I can imagine. Are you the guy that's doing that on defense?
Yes, I am, but we all have to hold each other accountable, because no one's perfect. Now I might come in, a little sleepy or a little tired, a little sore. I might need to pick me up one of my teammates. Today was a perfect example. We started off a little slow on the defensive side. We had our little break during practice, and we tried to get back out there and finish strong. So that's what great teams do. They hold each other accountable.
I'm not going to ask about Hassan Reddick, because you have nothing to do about that. You're here to do your job, and I do want to ask you about Will McDonald off the edge in practice, in pads so far. How do you size him up as a veteran?
How do I size him up?
Yeah.
I size him up, by the way he sets his edges, and especially in the run game. Teams gonna look at him and think he's a smaller edge rusher, defender, but he's a very powerful young guy. So he's been doing a great job of setting his edges in the run game. Not letting people get outside of him, and in the pass game, he's one of the best. He can. I'm not going to tell all his moves, but he can get to the quarterback any way you want.
I feel like. When I look at Aaron Rodgers, he won a Super Bowl with a great defense. This is a great defense. How much pressure do you feel to deliver for him this year, and what could be the last year? As you said, he got 2 more years in him.
I wouldn't say it's pressure. That's that's kind of what we build ourselves off of, especially, with the team that we've been building the past few years. Having the expectations to, be successful and to be great and, be the last team standing. That's just a standard that we try to build and live by every single day. So I wouldn't say it's pressure, just our standard that we want to live by in order to get where we need to get.
Is it more of a player set standard? Because every time I hear about like the leader and who's holding who and who accountable, I never hear Salah's name. What is his role in accountability on this Jets team?
Just making sure our vision is correct. At the end of the day, I think, Coach Brick says it best. They can coach us all day, but, when we go between the white lines, it's on us. They give us all the tools we can during the week. Then once we cross the lines and put our shoulder pads on, it's up to us to execute. It's up to us to, show our standards, show our love and regard by the way we run and hit, and we execute our plays.
Only a few DBs, I'm reading from this card now, only a few DBs have interceptions off of two of the greatest quarterbacks in our game today, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. You do. You have those, okay? Who's next on the list that you'd love to get one off of?
Who we playing?
Let's do an Aaron Rodgers woo-woo manifestation.
Well, you know what? I guess Aaron Rodgers. I haven't got him in practice yet. That's a great one. It's hard. So it's hard to get to pick off his no looks, because obviously we played against him. But in practice, the pass rush it's like you're rushing at him, but he can still hold the ball. So it's not easy for me to get a jump in practice. So if I can get one of his good no looks and pick it off, I'm definitely going to celebrate that.
Would you rather have an Aaron Rodgers practice meaningless interception, or do you want, I don't know, let me give you some options here. Purdy week 1, Stroud week 9, Tua brand new deal, Josh Allen again. Who's next?
I'll go with Tua, a little Alabama connection. Yeah, that'd be nice. He's got a few balls past me the few times that we played. So I've been like just an inch off, a couple of drifts off the play action. Like I kind of know his style, know what he was looking at. So it'd be nice just to finally get the study right and have it pay off.
You've been through a lot in your career. There's been ups, there's been downs. How do you see the game differently as you're entering this season?
I mean, we're going in, this 11th camp, so It's just, one day at a time, understanding your body, understanding, how to, come back as healthy as possible each day, going through the routines. So you can definitely get complacent once you understand the defense and been in this long. So now when I watch film, it's like, what's the next step I can take? What's the next thing I can look at to try to help myself, but also, inform the defense pre-snap before we go out and try to dominate the play.
We know you're a stud. We know what you do for this team. Give me a defensive star that I need to keep my eye on that sort of stood out to you in your eyes this camp.
I'm excited to see Jamie Sherwood.
Okay.
I don't know how much offense is going to allow us to, play in our base defense, but, when he steps on the field, he's a playmaker. So I'm going to keep it in our room. I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Last one for you. I think this team has to go to the Super Bowl this year. Why is Salah the guy?
Salah's the guy because, he was picked for this job, and, he's withheld that standard every single year, that every single year that we finish the season, his mindset and his mentality hasn't changed on what he wants from our team and what he wants from the coaches. And I think you have a staff and people upstairs that really trust in your head coach, and the coaches trust in the coaches, and also the players trust in him. You start to see everybody speak the same way, walk the same way, go as a family, and hopefully, obviously with injuries and all that, we can stay as healthy as possible. But, we have a great team, and we're building that camaraderie and that leadership now on our team.
I'm asking it because you were around a guy who won a Super Bowl. You were around John Harbaugh, who's considered one of the best, most consistent, gets the best out of his players. What's the one specific similarity you see that Harbaugh has that maybe Salah also has?
I would say their mindset. I think that goes with all the coaches, and I think about Coach Saban now that you talk about it. Just the process that they have, the vision that they want from the team, and not allowing anything to pretty much conflict with what he wants the team to look like. And he wants to have love and regard. It sounds simple, but that shows. Love and regard is shown when you're blocking 20 yards downfield on offense, trying to break the running back on defense, the backside corner sprinting to make a tackle that broke 20 yards down the field. So just that type of mentality every single play that we step on the field. And, when you have enough guys to play that way, great things can happen.
5 Pro Bowls, 5-time second-team All-Pro. This is a first-team All-Pro year for C.J. Mosley.
I'm waiting on it. I'm trying to uphill the standard. Quincy got one, so I did see this offseason that Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, I think, might have been the only 2 linebackers to have first-team All-Pro. So trying to get me and Quincy up there this year with that.
Patrick Willis going to the Hall of Fame, I think, in like 3 days or something. What do you want to say about Patrick?
And he was a beast. He was another linebacker in the rotation that I watched growing up. Ole Miss guy, so I saw him, play in the SEC all the time. So, congratulations on big honor. So, trying to get up there with you.
We love it. I think it's on the way in the future. You have a very veteran vibe about you, but you kind of always did.
Yeah.
I feel like you were never one of like the young cats, like, doing TikToks in the locker in your time, right?
No TikToks. Well, I was in the league way before TikToks, but still, no TikToks.
No TikToks. Okay, C.J. Mosley coming, to a New Orleans Super Bowl near you. We'll be back on Up and Adams. Here with Garrett Wilson at Jets training camp. You, of course, you're showered. You're making the entire core of beat reporters laugh out there. Mood is high today. I heard you pissed off the defense. You know who said that? C.J. Mosley.
That's always the goal. That's love. I love to hear that.
What happened out there today? Was it because we were doing red zone?
We're doing red zone. We kind of got after them a little bit, which is, how it's supposed to be. They got after us yesterday. It's our turn. They make us better. We got to make them better. It hasn't been that way in a little while. And just to be competing with them on that level and even be able to piss them off is, I know we're doing right.
But to embarrass a rookie, Garrett, poor Stiggers.
Oh.
On that touchdown.
Don't say that.
Would you have 2? How many did you have?
Nah, I had a few today. And like I said, we're in red zone. We're starting with the head start. I got to do my job once we're down there, finish the drive.
Are we watching the Olympics?
I haven't really been able to track it. The schedule's confusing with it. They start at 6 a.m. I can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
I did watch the gymnastics actually, and that was at 2 a.m.
You watched it at 2 a.m?
It was at 2 a.m. local time, and I watched Simone Biles and Cindy Lee. I got to watch all them, and it was, that's awesome.
I have it on good authority, Garrett, that you said that you could win 8 medals in 8 different competitions at the Summer Olympics. True?
I did say that. I did.
I heard you say that Breece Hall talks shit out there. A guy on your offense, on your side of the ball, talking shit to you. To explain, what is he saying?
It's like a competitive. Like Breece is a ultra competitor, like alpha, and he's a dog. Like he just backs it up all the time. And me and him just like have a personality to where we can joke around with each other. But all good jokes have truth to it, So like, you take it a little personal.
What has he said that takes you personally?
And that's what I told them over there. Like, we'll call each other terrible or like you're that type of thing. Or like, bro, you ain't catch that, you're terrible. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we'll laugh it off, but in reality, we're really like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it hurts different when the guy that's saying it to you is a baller himself.
Yeah, you guys were all happy out there today.
Oh, me.
It was amazing.
Made our plays.
Everyone wants to talk about you and Aaron Rodgers. I want to talk about you.
Yeah.
You are a back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver. You had 7 quarterbacks throwing you the ball in those 2 years. I would like to know what to expect from Garrett Wilson this year with consistent quarterback play from the greatest to maybe ever do it.
Yeah, he's special.
Now, let's talk about you. You're special.
Appreciate that.
It's true.
You're kind. Y'all can expect me to be the best teammate, whether that means catching 20 balls in a game or 2 balls, springing Breece free on a run to win the game, whatever it may be, because ultimately we all have the same goal, and that's a Super Bowl. I feel like I'm confident in the fact that if we go about things the right way and we win games, we learn how to, acquire the skill of winning games and can string it together. Everything will take shape. Everything will take care of itself. I'm blessed to be here in this situation and have a quarterback like we have to where I can play football as free as I've ever played, and it truly feels like I'm a kid out there playing again. So with that, I'm confident that if we take care of business and do what we're supposed to do, the rest of it will take care of itself. But this year, in year 3 for me, I'm really worried about how do we get to the playoffs and once we get there, how do we take that next step? I'm
saying 2K. I say all that to say this. It might be girl math, but you with 7 quarterbacks throwing you the ball had 1,000 yards. So ipso facto, carry the 1 in my calculator. I believe that's 2K with Aaron Rodgers.
That sound good.
Does that sound good?
That sound good.
I think so. I love that. a lot being made of you two. I don't really want to talk about that, but I do want to know how he motivates you. Not does he, but what specifically works for you. How does Garrett Wilson like being motivated, and does Aaron do that?
Yeah. You could have the best day of practice you ever had as far as stats, right? Or you could have 3-4 touchdowns on the day, not miss a target thrown your way, which is always kind of how a receiver grades himself. Like, did I finish the play? When I was targeted, did I make the catch, right? You could have a perfect, flawless day, but Aaron's the type of guy where it's always detail-oriented, because you're going to meet that one, meet your match one time, and then it's going to be that much more important that you're on your details. So he doesn't let me slide on any of that, which I appreciate him for. And just the greatness of him and how he goes about his routine in year 20, you would think he would maybe slack on it because he's been doing it for 20 years. But
Crazy.
just he's taken that much more emphasis in being detailed, and that's inspiring. That's inspiring.
Word on the street, you're lining up in the slot a lot more.
I don't want to tip anyone off.
I mean,
it might.
How does
know.
lining up there help elevate your game this year?
Yeah, just being able to do as much as you can, right? Just not putting a box on yourself, because teams are going to take away things. So the more I can do, the harder it is to take away what they might be trying to take away. And at the end of the day, I want to be a receiver that you can put at any position, that can be expected to make the play at any position. So if they're putting their confidence in me to line me up in the slot and make those reads that come with being a slot receiver, I know I'm taking the right steps in my progression.
I think it's great, and it's amazing. And if you look at Aaron, and you look at Hackett, and you look at the Davante Adams vibes, that sort of all-around receiver in the slot gives. Yeah. I got to ask you, I'm looking at Davante Adams' career highs right now. He put up career highs in 2021 when Hackett put him in the slot a ton. Wow. So how much Davante Adams tape are you watching?
Yeah, he's, especially this past offseason, and that'll continue through this season. I watched a lot of film on Davante, and Aaron refers to it a lot. He refers to the way they would, run certain things. So just to be able to put that visual is huge for me. I got to see it visually. But also just, like, he's a dog. Like, anything I can steal from his game and try and add to my release package, and, just is valuable. But yeah, I feel like a lot of those teams will try and guard, Aaron a certain way that they've been seeing him for 20 years. They've been trying to figure him out for 20 years, right? And despite their, someone had a little success, they're probably trying to do it again. So if I see it now, I'll have a better idea, when it comes up during the season, because I'm confident it will. I'm
confident too. I asked Davante when he came on my show a couple of weeks ago about, jokingly, like, playing with Aaron again. He said, would love to. He's been in my ear. Jokes. I ask Aaron about it. It becomes his story. Yeah. And the first thing I thought of when all this sort of built up, I was like, man, if I'm Garrett Wilson, am I like F-bomb? I don't, what does it motivate me? Does it whatever? I got to say, your response was that of a completely selfless, let's win the effing Super Bowl player. And I just wanted to give you props for that, because I don't know that a lot of wide receivers would have that mentality.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning. That's all it's about. And like I said, if someone can help us win, we want them on the team.
You'd welcome Davante Adams with open arms?
Damn right.
Have you talked to him?
I've talked to him about a year ago.
Okay.
And then, we DM a little bit every now and then. We got each other on, like, our stories and stuff. That.
What question would you want to ask him about his game, since you've been watching his tape?
Is he a reactor, or is he a predictor? I kind of know the answer to it, but I feel like I can't imagine him planning a lot of the moves he makes, because it's too good. Like, if you plan that, how could you plan? You have to plan on two sides, right? You have to plan what you're going to do, and then what the DB is going to react with, right? So because of that, and I think he's the smartest dude ever. I'm not trying to say that. I just think that he has to be reacting. That's me assuming. I don't know. I would love to ask him, though.
No, it's respect for your teammate. What else do you want to talk about? Put somebody on offense. Like Malachi had another good day in camp today. Yeah. Can you give me love? Should he be my sleeper in fantasy? What's his story?
He's a brute. He can do it.
Brute?
He's a brute.
What?
He can do it all. Today he made some great plays, and once he has the ball in his hand, he's truly like a running back. Hard to tackle, knows exactly where to go, and he's just got the right makeup. Great head on his shoulders, willing to work, who takes coaching. So you know, when you see a guy like that, you know they're gonna be successful, and I'm just glad he's on our team.
Do you feel like an OG kind of? Like you're in your third year? Third year,
Third year, you know.
No, you're still a young
I don't
cat.
feel like an OG, but as far as the Jets and knowing my guys, like a lot of the guys I came in with are still here, and we're kind of like on the older side of the group. You know, you
Young
gotta
team.
take that step at some point.
How does Aaron relate to Malachi Corley?
Yeah.
Is Aaron back there learning about TikTok? Is he? I don't even know.
Yeah. Aaron's been around young people his whole life, right?
I don't know.
So I feel like he's got to like. I feel like I don't know. He gets it. He just gets it. He knows how to talk to anyone. He's like water. He's just like very. I feel like if he's talking to someone more his age, he's got like a certain way he goes about it. When he's talking to us,
He's got
he
like whiskey with that,
you know what I'm
he's
saying,
like
though, with the
smoking a
big
pipe
ice
with
cube.
yeah. And then
That
it's
type
with
of
you
guy.
guys, it's not like that.
Nah, he gets like a ranch water with us. You know, that type of thing.
Ranch
You know what I'm
water.
saying? He's one of those type of guys. I'll say he's like
Wow,
water.
Aaron Rodgers has fun. This is
don't know.
interesting. Yeah, I know. I was
don't
going to
know.
say, I think you made that up. You have a gauntlet of corners out the gate. No more ranch waters. No more glasses of whiskey with big ice cubes out the gate.
Never that.
Ward. You got Lenore. You got Snead out the gate. Christian Gonzalez back. He might be Defensive Player of the Year. Pat Surtain. Who are you circling?
All them games get circled, right? Because I feel like all those DBs have gotten the upper hand on me these first 2 years. And that's cool. That's all right. You know, I've embraced that.
Oh,
But
shit.
I'm excited. You know, I'm just excited to get out there and prove to the world what I can do. Because I don't think anyone's seen it. So it's just exciting for me. You know, I go about my off season in a certain way because of who I think I can be, right? And I haven't found a way to get there yet. So, you know, hopefully this is the year it takes shape and it comes from playing against the best guys in the league, like the guys you're naming.
What do you mean you haven't shown it yet?
I just, where you are isn't where you think you should be, right? You know, that type of thing.
I think you've been great. What do you want it to be? What aren't you happy with?
I've been a great player, good player.
Okay.
But I just have more to give, and I'm just excited to show to the world. You know, that's all.
2K.
That's all. You funny.
2K. 2K. You heard it here
You
first.
funny.
Maybe we can voice that over. Garrett Wilson, anything else you want to talk about? Want to talk a little Paris?
Patty?
Want to talk a little Adidas? How do you say
I loved it
Adidas
there.
in French? What was the Adidas? Adidas. Want to talk
Adidas.
about that? That was insane. You were there walking the runway. It was for Y3S season 25. What? Or
Yes.
summer season 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Game
I
fits
see you know your
always.
stuff.
Game fits always.
Yeah, I don't like to leave a house and not feel like good about what I have on. With that said, this is terrible.
What are you talking about?
You know, this is camp day 7, all right? That's what this is.
Garrett, you could not look cooler. You literally could not
I
look cooler.
appreciate that,
These
but you
bracelets
lied.
were around when I was little, by the way. This is
You
like
know
a
what?
throwback to the 90s.
Zach Kuhn's niece made this for me. Shout out Zach Kuhn's niece. It's
That's
awesome.
so sweet. I'd be remiss if I don't ask you about your coach. Why does everyone talk about everything on this
Sean?
team?
Coach Jefferson?
No, Coach Sala. Why isn't he
Oh,
talk?
of course.
Look, he didn't even know what I was talking about.
I know
Why
what
does
you meant.
nobody talk about Sala? Is he just that quiet?
What you mean? He the man.
No,
Coach
tell
Sala
me
the man,
why.
you
Why
know?
is he the guy that's going to take you to the Super Bowl?
Because he just gets it, man. He tries to make these connections with us that's special for a guy in the position he's in. They try to make these connections with everyone on the team. You know, he sits in our offensive meetings. He sits in the defensive meeting. He drops knowledge on us to help us beat our defense, and I'm sure he does the same to them. But I can imagine that it's not like that everywhere, and we owe him to go out there and play some good football this year. You know, we truly do.
I have a conspiracy theory that you and Aaron out there arguing is like for show. Because yesterday I saw it and y'all were John, and then I saw later y'all were laughing. So then I'm just like, they're just doing this to feed. They're just doing this to do this.
I mean, we're both always on the just always trying to find a way to get better. And sometimes when you're passionate about something, you love something, it may look a certain way, but we're both so like-minded that, you know, it's honestly crazy how like-minded we are when it comes to certain things. So we can have conversations like that. I haven't always been able to have conversations like that with my quarterback, so I don't take it for granted. And I'm just really happy that he's able to drop the knowledge on me, and I know I can be a little something to deal with every now and then, but
you got to deal with it. That's what this time is for right now.
yeah, I mean, we're trying to build something, and, it takes those hard conversations every now and then, but at the end of the day, we don't even really get to that point. We just have conversations because we're trying to we're trying to beat our defense. We're trying to be better.
Are you on the
and,
same page?
Yeah, we're on the same
Here
page.
we go.
Exactly.
Everybody, look, here. Nothing to make of the situation. He was out there dancing today. You had him doing the Ric Flair. He just
Told
loves that
you,
red
been
zone,
around
doesn't
this
he?
A little too much.
He's All right,
feeling good.
Garrett Wilson bringing you 2,000 yards to this Jets offense. Maybe an All-Pro year. Maybe a Super Bowl in New Orleans. You better get your fits ready.
There it is.
All right, so
There
we'll be
it
back
is.
right after this on Up and Adams. One Jets Drive, the place to be. One of my favorite stops on training camp tour. I wish I could stay here longer. Incredible to talk to a defensive veteran. He's got that OG old man presence in CJ Mosley. So many Pro Bowls, so many second-team All-Pros, and hoping that he gets more this year as the leader wearing that green dot. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We were lucky enough to talk to Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And as I bring in Hamilton here, wow, that felt very TV of me. As I bring in Matthew Hamilton here, you're fired.
Just missing the slide. Yeah, apparently this will be my last show with Up and Adams.
Yeah.
It's been a great run.
I saw you talking to the McCourties over there, giving them your resume, career building over there.
I have options.
You have options. I'm sure you do, and you're welcome for those options. No, let's start with Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
right? Aaron Rodgers came gracious enough to give us some of his time after talking to the media for a while. It was doom and gloom, I feel like, in the headlines yesterday, which,
Yeah.
by the way, like, they're doing their job. They're calling it like they see it. But I have a feeling this is a great thing for this team. Any things that they're ironing out now, I want to see a camp fight. I want to see, by the way, I'll just say this off the top. Where's Sauce Gardner in all this? Where's the jawing with him? I want to see
Yeah.
Aaron versus Sauce, not Aaron versus Garrett or Garrett versus Brees, which is all we're getting. The offense is sort of getting after it. We know what this defense can be. The big question, Hassan Reddick, I thought it was a little, that's the word I'm going to use. Like, that's the sound that Aaron has not reached out to Hassan.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I would have
he said.
liked to see that. That would have made me feel, or it would have made me feel worse that he's texted him and he's not here, you know?
That's true.
I don't know. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, he did say it's been a while.
Yeah.
I guess, he's letting him handle his business. But,
He's focused on who's here.
yeah, he's focused on who's here, and that focus is translating.
You
We
didn't
saw it
ask
today.
him about Malachi Corley.
I know.
Where were you? That's why you're freaking fired. You let this
Well-
man start asking me about my stress level.
Well, I got
and
the
my
rap signal, and then he started
my
interviewing.
yoga freaking routine.
Once he saw that rap signal, he started interviewing you. So,
I wanted to talk about Malachi Corley, but you know,
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson told us that he's really going to be that guy. I think outside of Brees Hall at receiver. What I'm sort of getting to, and what you and I have talked about,
Yeah.
and it's not, but it is the Nathaniel Hackett. You can draw the comparisons. Aaron Jones was often the second option in the receiving game to Devontae Adams. And
Yeah.
I think Brees Hall is here for that. Give it to me. He told me in Texas he's going to touch the ball more than anybody. Second to Aaron Rodgers. No disrespect to the center who's fighting with him about these snaps. But Brees Hall might be the key to making this team go on offense.
yeah, and we know he has the hands. We saw it last year. I think he was like second among running backs in catches, and we saw it here in that red zone period. He made a nice catch in the back of the end zone. He's so versatile, and like you said, we've seen Hackett and Rodgers really take advantage of that versatility at the running back position with Aaron Jones in the past.
Don't you think Garrett Wilson seems beyond a third-year wide receiver?
Yeah.
I mean, he's seen some stuff. 7 quarterbacks in 2 years.
Yeah, 7 quarter. That's a lot of quarterbacks into and still being that productive. But I love that he doesn't look at it that way. Like he kept saying to you, like, I'm not where I want to be at. His goals are so far beyond.
He didn't look at me though. What the funny part about that moment, and it's so funny, so I can explain it a little bit better for our audience. There's moments that there's people, there's talking, and there's like, oh, I've been trained to. And when I asked him, like, what, when I forget what the question was, he looked there, and he was in the distance in his own head, sort of saying, like, I have another level to myself.
Yeah.
I know what I'm capable of, and he clearly has a standard, and it's why he's out there, having these conversations about the baby details that Aaron Rodgers knows they're going to come into play in live action.
Yeah,
I loved that moment.
Yeah,
I could just feel something burning in him in that moment.
Yeah. And I love that Rodgers said, like, he has that fire to him. He has a little bit of a temper with it, because he wants to be great. Like, that's what you look for in players. You want them to have that motivation to be great.
Did you set me up for failure saying that he said he has 2 years left?
Chris actually sent me the direct quote of him
So
saying
he's lying?
two
Thanks,
years.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. Making me question my own sanity, per usual. But I have you on this side, Aaron on this side. I don't know what to do with myself. Hassan Reddick, just your thoughts on what this defense would look like without him. I don't like seeing headlines that say trade rumors, whatever. We knew he wanted a deal when he got traded. What do you think this defense is without him? Because we know Aaron won a Super Bowl with a great defense, and they need him to be one.
Yeah, and CJ gave us some good stuff on Will McDonald, so that was encouraging to hear. But you want everybody in the fold. This team does have a legitimate chance to make a run at a Super Bowl, and Hassan Reddick, we saw the difference maker he was for the Eagles in that push to a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He's that level of a difference maker off the edge, so you got to hope they can get something done and get him in here.
I think what else stuck out with me with Mosley, Green Dot, it seems like no surprise to him that he's a leader, but I do feel like he's getting to call the shots on defense more. Is that a good thing? And he admitted to as much.
Oh, yeah, it's great because as offenses make adjustments, have motions, things like that, having a linebacker out there that has that type of control and can adjust the defense on the fly, it's more effective than having the coaches just call it from the sidelines because he can do it in real time.
What was the energy that you got? Like, you obviously got here a lot earlier than I did. You're talking to the McCourty brothers were here. The vibes are really high. What sort of did you get, even from the media members, from the players?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me, I think, is just how high the vibes were today from the offense based on some of the stuff that we've been hearing and reading from the outside.
It's because of me.
It must be. They knew you were coming today.
Aaron knew I was coming. He showed up. Like, it's duh.
But yeah, I mean, Aaron, he was having fun out there today. The dancing, the Ric Flair stuff. He's hitting the horn to change periods in practice. He was everywhere. He was enjoying himself out there, and that really stuck out.
Is that scary for the rest of the AFC East?
Yes.
All anybody is saying is just health, just health. I almost don't want that to be the thing that everyone has in their head, you know?
Yeah.
This has to be deja vu to him, right? Like, he's here again. He looks good. He feels good. I will say it's not. I thought as I was pulling up, I remember being here last year. I remember exactly what happened. I know where we're going to be. And it's obviously the same thing for him in the routine that he is.
Yeah.
But he's completely different.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't great last year.
Yeah.
And not that he wouldn't have marched to the Super Bowl and won it for this team last year.
Yeah.
But there was something about maybe the newness of it. Maybe there was a lot going on. Last time we were here. That's at Hard Knocks is a great point. But I also feel like last time I was here, they were screaming Dalvin Cook, the crowd.
Yeah.
Like that, so much has changed.
Yeah.
We are in a different place now. And there's a lot of cohesion, I feel like, but he could not have been loose. Garrett Wilson, too. Yeah. Garrett came and was like, looking cool as shit, sitting the way he said. CJ Mosley has that presence. Yeah. There's something, and they're all going to bring that, and obviously we have to figure the Hassan Reddick thing out. I might change my mind if something goes awry there. I hope Douglas. Well, I didn't see him today. I'm sure he's at his desk making that happen as best he can. But I would say that the energy around Aaron is like not a flat. How do you? I don't know. I'm gonna have to contextualize it somehow. Loose. I disagree. I think he's focused. I think everyone's going to say he's loose and he's having... This man has like that hunter eye in him right now. He is like this. He was like this. I've never really seen him like that. So I would say dialed in, dialed down, and dialed in. And I love that. And there's my tagline for these Jets. I, of course, want to thank everybody here at the Jets, Jarrett Whitley, the entire comm staff, the players for taking their time, sweaty, padded practice, especially, the offense the defense that got smoked today. No kidding. We appreciate it. We love making this a stop. They are incredible and always are so welcoming. I just want to thank everybody top down from the organization as we wrap it up here, and we'll see you tomorrow at the division rival.